I want to ask you a core question. And in asking you, I am asking myself, are you in love with your own soul? Do you feel in love with your own soul? And if you can't rightly answer that, that's okay, because our trauma, and the first trauma, has been one of rejection. And this rejection got branded onto our soul. In fact, it branded our soul as unacceptable. Unacceptable. And so, of course, it doesn't start with just one rejection. It becomes a lifetime of feeling rejected. And so this brand becomes, think of it as a brand. The brand of unacceptable becomes compounded. And all we want to do is run away from a soul identity that is branded as unacceptable. This is true of every human being that has ever experienced rejection. The true healing path is one of returning back to our soul, to returning home, returning to our core essence. So all our lives we have only felt like running away from the brand of non-acceptance, unacceptable, to the point where we do not even accept ourselves. And we've been running from ourselves. And then that got compounded with this whole shaming of being selfish. If we are self-absorbed, that got labeled selfish, and so that's another no-no. I tell you, this whole life is against us. This whole life is a conspiracy against our own soul. But we must return home. We must return to the love of our own soul, the love of our heart, our first love. Our soul is the entity that we call God, and that most of us have run to in order to run away from our soul. But we must repent, we must return, we must turn back, we must turn inward and face our soul and receive our soul and accept our soul in self-love. And that is the part that needs healing. We need to stop running from ourselves. We need to stop running away from ourselves into the arms of God. That is a form of bypassing. We're bypassing our soul, and we're leaving our souls orphaned. The goal of this journey is to finish out being in love with your own soul, and that is not selfish, that is not self-absorbed in ego, it's self-absorbed in soul. We ought to be absorbed in our own soul essence and love with our soul. And when you feel at home and comfortable in your own soul, that's when you really live. That's when your life is filled with song, with joy, with, well, you'd have to experience it, but it is filled with fullness when you are at home in your own soul. And that's the place I get to live from every day now. I have dared to fall in love with my soul. Yes, and I hope and wish this for everyone who hears my messages. I hope that it will help you find your way home to your soul.